have to be skinny and attractive and this and that in order to get opportunities, but that's just how it is.
You know what's interesting about this? I would listen to this TikTok and then I sat with it for a minute, right? And when it comes to all of my acquaintances, my close acquaintances, and the few close friends that I have, if not all of them, most of them are really big on, physical health and fitness. And they are very consistent with not only going to the gym and exercising, but just having that overall lifestyle change where they're very intentional about eating clean and eating healthy so that they can maintain what they're doing in the gym. I am probably the most inconsistent in that area. And for me, my reasons deal with the fact that, I lost both my parents back to back, and went through a shift in my socioeconomic status to where, I experienced true poverty as a young adult in my mid 20s. And I turned to alcohol, I turned to weed, and I turned to binge eating. And it's interesting because there were periods when I first buried my parents where I could look back and I look way slimmer because I was still staying on top of exercise and I was still being very, intentional about taking breaks from drinking alcohol, taking breaks from drinking sugary drinks. But when I had my suicide attempt last year in 2023, that was just it for me. I realized that with the lack of support that I have, really no support, I just could not stay on top of worrying about making sure I'm being in alignment, I guess, with the status quo of society standards when it comes to my external appearance, because it was just impossible for me to be a full-time social work student, stay on top of my spiritual advising business, and make sure that I'm taking time to, grieve appropriately and maintain my mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So I just let myself go. I really did. I let myself go and I just told myself, you know what? You hit rock bottom and it just is what it is. Like, you're not going to be able to stay on top. But even with that being said, right? When I think about close acquaintances and close friends, like I said, that stay on top of their physical health and fitness, they have the same drawbacks that I'm dealing with. And see, I think it's just the natural drawbacks of being in your 20s and entering into your 30s. You understand? They still are looking for higher paying jobs that allows for them to have time so that they could create financial freedom. They're still looking for higher paying jobs so that they can move out of their parents' house and live on their own. They're still looking for, monogamous, intimate, divine counterparts in romantic relationships. So I think that it's a bit misleading and there's a lot of nuance that's missing when you tell people the reason why they're being held back in life is because they're not working on their external and being attractive enough or fit enough. And let me give you a perfect example. Dr. Jackie on Married to Medicine. Her slogan from day one, season one of Married to Medicine has always been, when you look good, you feel good. I agree with that too. Like, and looking good is subjective. I agree with that. When you put a little extra intention into yourself, you may see that there's a boost in your mood and there's a boost in your motivation to go through your day to day and get what you need and want to get done, as opposed to other days where you may just kind of, just do whatever you want, right? But did that Dr. Jackie being a petite, slim woman, did it stop her husband from cheating on her? Did it stop her husband from being an embarrassment to her, getting caught on the shade room at the airport, at the bar, in public, and then the woman came out and said that Curtis made love to her on the first night that they were together? Did it stop any of that? No. And to take that a step further, for those of you that are familiar with Married to Medicine, Curtis told Jackie several times, you are too busy. All you do is just pile more stuff onto your plate, and I want to spend time with you. She ignored him. She ignored him, and then he turned around and embarrassed the fuck out of her. That had nothing to do with Dr. Jackie. He didn't cheat on Dr. Jackie because she gained weight or he wanted thickums. He cheated on her because there was no intimacy anymore. There was no emotional connection. He wanted to spend time with his wife and she pretty much ignored him. So while she, right, perfect example, so hyper fixated on this superficial mindset, shallow mindset of as long as everything looks good, it's going to be good, she forgot to develop consideration. She also just got dragged up and down the internet for saying that Black women tend to play up their symptoms and pain because they want to stay home from work while they're pregnant. She forgot to develop compassion. And it's always the same story. I find that people that really walk around and think that the world should just fall at their fucking fingertips and it should just fall at their feet because they fit society's desirability politics, they tend to be the most unhappy people. Because imagine attaching yourself to this ideology that all I have to do is lose weight, all I have to do is eat right, and just level up how I present myself, and then everything will just fall into place. Sweetheart, we're living in a time where everybody is beautiful at this point. Everybody could slap a filter on. Everybody can learn how to do their makeup. And if somebody really puts their mind to it, they can lose an excess amount of weight and transform. But if you're not working on your inside, and if what you're striving for has nothing to do with the way in which a higher power is ordering your steps, good luck.